What a beauty. What a big buck. Oh. That's a beautiful deer. All right, here we are. What is it right now? It's October 10th, 2025. For many people, hunting season's just getting going. For another, who knows how many people, hunting season might be coming to a bit of a close. And for another amount of people, hunting season might be midway through. I think I'm pushing into the last quarter for me. What I am going to announce today is I'm going to be building an online hunting course for the people out there that can use the knowledge, all right? In the past, I took a stab at building an app without even knowing what an app was about 10 years ago or so, and it's been a challenging thing to do. But the most challenging thing I found to do was to try to extract your hunting knowledge and deliver it to the public when it's all just stored in your mind from years and years of experience, trial and error, and learning on your own, and then becoming successful. But I think I've mastered how to do that. Right now, I'm going to share a video with you guys. I'm going to share some serious tips with you on why you suck, okay? And believe me, there is a lot of people out there who want to be successful hunters. They want to be consistent successful hunters, and they also want to be consistent at getting mature, kick-ass, great examples of the game they're after. I'm going to tell you right now, the number one mistake that the majority of people who aren't successful, who do suck, let's face it, you either suck or you don't, is because you are not learning how to hunt your spot. That's the number one reason. You're not slowing down, gearing down, sitting back and observing, donating the time to learn how to hunt your spot. Period. That's the number one biggest mistake you are repeating. And believe me, I've watched a lot of you do it. Here's what a lot of people do. You'll go into a zone, say a brand new zone. Nobody's taking you to their spot. Nobody's giving you the knowledge that they have. Nobody's showing you where to go. You're trying to figure it out on your own. You're watching all these so-called big name hunters on the internet consistently getting monster trophy bulls with their bows, etc. Meanwhile, they're not even scouting. They're going on private property, most of them, or they're being held by the hand, which you can't do and I can't do. There's a lot of people, though. I just watched a video the other day. They somewhat knee-jerked me into making this video right now. I watched a couple of guys from British Columbia. They decided to go on a hunt. They called it going on a hunt. And every single video clip they showed was them driving up the road, stopping, getting out with their gun, walking up to the end of the road, looking down over a bank, and getting back in the truck. That was it. That was it. That's not hunting. That's not learning how to hunt, and that's like a gamble. Every blind squirrel is going to find a nut now and then, and many people do by driving around looking aimlessly at chunks of logged out blocks, timber, sides of the road, down power line, cut lines, whatever you want to call it. You're just driving around looking, not knowing anything about how to hunt that spot. But I'm going to give you the quick heads up right now. This is what you need to do. It doesn't matter the species you're after. You need to pick out an area, go into that area, park your vehicle, park your quad, get off and start walking. Start hiking, start walking. Put the miles on, there's no way out of it. If you want to be good, you want to be successful consistently, and you want to pick up the quality of the game you're tagging, you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to walk. That's all there is to it. You're going to have to stick to that one spot. 3 spots tops. Okay? 3 spots tops. That's what I do with my deer hunting. I've got 3 spots max that I'll rotate hunting. How do you know it's going to be a spot? Well, first off, all you got to do is find a track. That's all I need to do, especially for deer. Elk, moose, anything. I don't care what it is. I'm going to go hiking. I'm going to go dive into that timber right there. I'm going to go straight up that steep-ass mountain in the timber. I'm going to go all the way up there. Or I'm going to go into that basin. Wherever it is, whatever species I'm after, I'm hiking in there. I'm walking in there, and I'm going to go look. I'm going to look for game trails. I'm going to look for tracks. I'm going to look for droppings. I'm going to look for sheds. I'm going to look for rubs. Those are my key items that I'm searching for. Trails, tracks, droppings, rubs. Take it a few steps further later on, even sheds. I'm not overly worried about sheds just yet. I'm worried about finding the sign to make sure I have a place that's worthy of being a spot to hunt. Okay? Bonus if I'm going to actually see an animal. That's an even bigger bonus. But in reality, all I need is a couple of piles of droppings and a couple sets of tracks. Okay, I got a spot. They're here. Next, I'm going to try to I'm going to look around. I'm going to try to figure out if the spot that I have interest in right here, what time of year is this spot frequented the most? Is this a wintering zone? Is this a springtime zone? Early spring, late spring, summertime, fall, year-round? What's going on around here? And how can I tell? Typically, with typical ungulates, during the rut and wintering times, you're going to find rubs. You're going to find rubs. Maybe not a lot of them, but you're going to find rubs. While I'm hiking that new zone, where I've already found, let's just say I've found a place that's got some rubs, it's got some droppings, it's got some tracks, it's got some game trails. Bingo, got a spot. I got a spot. Now I'm going to learn how to hunt it. While I am hiking any spot, anywhere, especially new spots, I'm donating a day or two or even more. For me, sometimes I'm even donating. I'm working places from year to year, season to season until I figure out what's going on. That's just me though. But I am going to hike, and every time I hike anywhere, I'm taking note of the time of the year, the temperature, the time of day, and which way the wind's going. I'm taking note of which way the wind's going non-stop so that I know next time when I come here to actually hunt this spot properly, I know which way the wind's going to be going in the morning, and I know which way the wind's going to go when it changes. And I'm going to be situated somewhere in this spot that when I'm hunting it in the morning, I'm not blowing the game out of there, and when the wind changes, I'm not blowing the game out of there. And that goes with learning how to hunt your spot. Right? You pick your spot, you stick with it. I don't need to see an animal. I don't need to see an animal right away. I don't need to see an animal to make it worthy of a spot to hunt. All I need is droppings, tracks, and trails. And some rubs, depending on what species I'm after. Droppings, trails, and tracks. That's all I need. Number one, figure out which way the wind goes and what time it's going in that direction and what time the wind changes. It's typically going to change twice a day. Okay? The wind's going to cool down, drop down, and when it warms up, the wind's going to go up. It might go crossways. That's up to you to figure out in your spot while you're learning how to hunt that spot, right? Next, you're going to try to figure out where everything's typically feeding. And then you can start to figure out where they're probably going to be bedding. Also, at the same time you're trying to figure that out, you're also going to figure out, well, what time of year do they probably come in here? Because believe me, with many species, some spots are bare of game until a certain time of year, and then it's choked. It's choked and it's game on. But you're not going to figure that out in that spot unless you get off your quad, get out of your truck, and start hiking and walking and learning and observing and collecting the hints that tell you when it's going to be good, how it's going to be good, how you're going to hunt it, how you're going to approach it. Is this a sit and wait in the evening spot that's best? Is this a sneak in the dark for an hour before sunup and sit tight and get ready to sit and wait? Is it that kind of spot? Is it best to still hunt through the timber in this spot? What is it? But you got to figure it out. And every hour you spend in that spot, gaining the intel, gaining the knowledge, that's time. That's you can't even put a price on it because you are gaining that knowledge. It's probably knowledge that a lot of people don't even have. They don't even have yet because, well, they're driving up to the end of the road and they're taking a look around, they're getting their vehicle and driving away. They don't know shit. They don't know nothing. Next thing you know, you're going to keep hunting that spot, and maybe you'll start blowing. I keep scaring stuff away. I keep blowing stuff out of there. It knows I'm coming. It boogies out of there before I even get to see it. Okay? We'll change up your approach. Figure out how to get into your spot undetected, right? That goes with learning how to hunt your spot. Once you've established there is game in there, once you've established where the main trails are, now you can lay down some trail cameras with confidence and leave them there for who knows how many weeks at a time. It's up to you. I leave mine year round. And now I'm going to go in there and I'm going to check out what time the game's typically coming down these trails that I hiked to find, right? And I'm also going to start learning about what time of year the males, the bucks or the bulls are showing up. What time are they showing up? Which way are they going at that time of day? Are they growing velvet? Are they wintering there right now? Are they rutting right now? What are they doing? What time of year is it you're finding these bulls and bucks on your cameras? Maybe even rams, sheep, bears. Do you know what I mean? And then you're gonna gain all of that knowledge, additional knowledge. So what do you got now as you're learning how to hunt that one spot? Well, I found tracks, I found droppings, I found trails, I found beds, I found rubs. I figured out which way the wind's going. I figured out which way the wind's going when it changes direction, when the thermals change. I'm learning which way I should come into it from. I'm learning how close I can drive a vehicle to it. I'm learning how far away I should park a vehicle from it to be able to enter it successfully. You're gaining all that knowledge. right? And only you know that knowledge. You've got it. You own it forever. You own that knowledge forever. Don't give it away. And then next thing you know, it may take a season. It may take 2 seasons. It may take 3 seasons. However long it takes, as long as you don't quit, as long as you keep forcing yourself to go in there without becoming successful and learning how to hunt your spot, eventually you're going to cut that tag. Oh, you got one. Celebration. All that work came to a huge prize. Then perhaps by sign of sheds, or by visual sightings, or by trail camera photo or video, well, now you're starting to learn about the genetics in that one spot that you've chosen to be a spot. Now you're going to learn about the genetics. How big do big mature bulls or bucks or bears actually get here, or rams? How big do they actually get? What's running around in here? Holy cow, look at that buck, or look at that bull, look at that monster bear. Now you got a goal. Now you have learned how to hunt this spot where this animal frequents. Now you're going to start focusing on him, which will be lessons for later on how to obsess about one animal and figure him out. You see what I'm getting at? Now, how many of you can honestly say you've picked a spot and stuck with it for numerous seasons before becoming consistently successful? The amount of people I watch go on hunting trips, they make the camp, they drive up the road, they get off the quad, maybe get off the quad or out of the truck. They walk over here, they sit in that stump, they look up there, I'm going to sit here and wait till last light. Well, why are you sitting right there till last light? You don't even know if they come into here at last light yet. You don't have a clue. Why didn't you go hiking up there and check all the trails first? Why didn't you check for droppings and check for signs of them feeding first before you decided to get off your quad and just sit there till last light? It's an absolute waste of time. You have to learn how to hunt your spot. That's all there is to it. If you want to be successful consistently, you have to do it. You know, the last 4 years, I decided to go to an absolute brand new area. Nobody told me about it. I don't know anybody that hunted there. I went it on my own, and I just started hiking. Hiking and grinding. Springtime, I drove all the way up there in the spring. It took 5 days. I drove up, picked a bunch of spots. I dumped a shit pile of salt in various places, threw cameras up. I don't know what's going to come and hit the cameras. I don't have a clue, but I'm going to learn, make some salt licks, lay some trail cameras down, see what the population was with the survivors in early spring, see what kind of genetics are running around, learn the trails. You know what I mean? And then I think I was unsuccessful the first season, and then after that, I started finding some of the most amazing specimens I've ever had a chance to hunt. And I started learning more. And next thing you know, I started cutting tags. I think in one particular spot, in 4 years, I've shot, oh my gosh, a 6x6 whitetail, a huge 5x6 mule deer, a very large 5x5 mule deer, 3 or 4 elk, couple moose, some smoker frickin' mule deer, and a nice big whitetail, and I've found some of the biggest animals I've ever seen on trail camera. And previous to doing all that, I didn't have a clue what was going to be there. I didn't know where the trails were. I didn't know anything. I just basically got out of the truck, got off the quad, and started hiking. And I'm learning how to hunt the spot. I've learned how to hunt these particular new spots so well that I know I'm coming home with an elk. That's all there is to it. I already know I am. It's just how big is it going to be? I already know I'm going to get a smoker mule deer this fall. I know I am. The chances of getting a huge whitetail are massive right now. I'm probably going to get a big whitetail too. Only because I learned how to hunt this new spot. These new spots. I learned how to hunt them. I haven't stopped hiking. I haven't stopped looking. When my morning hunt's done, what do I do in the afternoon? I go to new zones. I take new trails. I take new cut lines. I take new game trails up into those mountains. I go check out that big patch of timber up there. I wonder what's in there. And I go and I look. And I grind it out. And I hike. And I hike. And I hike. And I learn. And I learn. And I learn. Next thing you know, boom. All of a sudden you get real lucky and you find that smoker bull. Or you find that smoker buck. And you find them. And you earned it. It's all yours. And now your spots, obviously there's probably going to be other guys that know these spots. But big deal. You learned on your own. You earned it. Right? And you gain that knowledge yourself. You know exactly what to do to be successful in that spot now. You know exactly what to do and how to do it. I hope I came across clearly. I hope that's understandable for everybody listening to this video. If you suck, there is a recipe to not suck. There is a recipe to success, to be a successful hunter. And I got the recipe on how to become a successful hunter, but also how to become successful at consistently cutting tags on mature, awesome class game. All right? But that's going to be your first move. You need to learn how to hunt your hunting spot.